I met a gypsy.
So, well, all right. How about we talk about then the Herlings versus Tomac?
Oh, that would be epic.
So I'll take the lead on this one real quick. I've spoke to both of them.
Yeah.
So thanks to you. Well, because actually you're the one that fucking lined it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't publicly said too much about it since the Herlings podcast. But for the listeners of Gypsy Tales and for the wider motocross world, I've spoken to both Jeffrey Herlings. I've spoken to Eli Tomac. I have both of those guys saying that they want to do it after Supercross 2023.
Yeah. I know Eli was his biggest thing was, hey, look, I need
just
to
the timing.
The timing has to be right for me to be able to do something like this. And I would assume that it goes also for Herlings. It has to line up with things. But
well, less for Herlings, would you believe? He literally said, fuck, I don't have my phone. He literally said, he goes, yeah, man, we can fucking do it whenever. Let's do it. He goes, let's do it.
Herlings doesn't really think like too.
Bro, there's some he's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he's not, but
he said
he's not thinking logically at the point when we'll do it whenever. But
he doesn't care. He said that he will literally ride Cooper's practice bike at Alden's. He goes, I don't give a fuck. I won't even touch a clicker. I just want to do this.
Where are you going to do it?
Well, James Stewart's house would be pretty sick.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Could you imagine how rad it would be to do it at the Stewart compound? Because no one ever rides there.
Yeah.
And it's sand, and then there's like the clay, there's the massive jumps. I feel like that place would just be insane to do it. It's easy
That's
for
a pretty good option.
It's easy for Star,
do you
Stars
get people contact you going like, you're way too high right now, Gypsy, like saying that
all the time? Yeah. Do I give a fuck
about this particular point?
Yeah, no, people think it's like insane. I said to Wygant too. He actually put it like a little bit in like race ahead, and I said to him, I was like, I've spoke to both of them, like they're both keen to do it, and I'm like fully down to like put up that money. So like I said, $100,000. I think we could probably get more than that. And then do a legitimate pay-per-view kind of deal.
Yeah, that's I said that is the one.
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
But you know what's it's funny. I said to Jeremy, told him the idea. I was like so hyped after we did the podcast, and he was like, "Man, 1-on-1 racing's boring," and it just like fully deflated me. And I was like, "Oh fuck, maybe he's right." But then I was like, "Wait, that's what we've had all season with Sexton and Eli."
100%. You just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, well, not all season, but
pretty much.
But a big majority of the season, yeah. And we've just been on the edge of our seats for sure.
It's been incredible.
Yeah,
been, and like two contrasting styles.
Even in the 250s.
Yeah. It's just been like that Moto 2 of High Point.
Yeah,
Jet and Hunter.
Yeah, mate. All time, mate.
Bro, that is absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
Like you go, the aliens come to Earth, and then you say, oh, tell me what's going on here. You go, oh, fuck, have I got a story for you? There's these two kids that live on the other side of the world, and then they went to Europe to race, and then now they've come here, and now on this day at High Point in Moto 2, both of them smashed the entire field. They were so much better than the rest of the world on this day, and they'd be like, well, fuck, that's pretty impressive.
It's, Millville Moto, was it Moto 1 or 2?
Yeah,
Moto 2.
Same thing.
Yeah,
it's insane. So I actually do think that would be a pretty awesome race. And the thing is the match racing thing could get weird, like the one-on-ones, if it's just guys going for takeouts. But these two boys genuinely want to race each other as hard as they possibly can. At no point is Jeffrey going to try and take out Eli. Or Eli. Those two boys are going to... That would be, to me, I think,
that's
one of
like...
That's
not their MO.
No,
they don't
dude,
race like that.
I'm down to make it 40 minutes and just watch, because could you imagine the first 20 minutes of that race, like maybe not trying to show lines, not giving up all the speed, maybe one guy gets out front, tries to break away a little bit early, and then if he can't, then it's like, there's so much that could go on when those two dudes got into just one clean track. no other riders to worry about. Just bang.
Yeah, I mean, the way that those two ride as well, it's a very similar style of actual riding. They just what did you say? They want to make the ground hurt.
They just belt the ground. They just want to abuse the track.
And so it's such a similar style of riding, and it would be epic to see it go head to head to see it happen. Yeah.
So James's place I think is probably on the short list, but I mean there's a million places.
No, there is a million places,
and
it
neither
has
of
to
them
be.
care.
It has to be a wicked, epic location as well. That's got to be part of the storyline, right?
Yeah, and I said to both of the boys as well. I was like, because for me, I'm always talking about ways things should be done better, and I'm kind of on my high horse. And this, to me, I would go in on this event. I would empty my bank account to make sure that this was done in the way that I think a race should be promoted, if that makes sense. And the fact that you've got these two guys, like boxing Showtime, the Showtime countdowns and the press conference and the face-offs that you could do, and it's like I just think there's so much juice to squeeze, and then I think that if you squeeze it right, then it can make an impact on kind of like the way that the sport gets presented. You know what I mean? Like we could set and really look for these storylines and I think that was to get back to the super world thing again, is it's like, do we even need to keep these guys racing all year, or is there there's got to be some value in an off season? Because if you look at the NFL, for example, I don't know if you've ever seen Hard Knocks or any of those. Man, the production around the race team, the football teams and the riders, the players, and the way that they show the camps and the whole lead up to the series it gives you something, it permeates. It builds
absolutely.
And it builds, and I really think that
there's value in that.
Don't make them race all year.
Yeah.
I think that it's almost like scarcity is, it's just like a supply and demand issue now. We're just going to have an oversupply of the same races over and over and over. And it's I think it's just you're missing the mark to even expect that I guess that's what makes it feel like they're just treated like clowns in a sense. It's just we don't care. Just go out, dance on the fucking stage on the day that we tell you to dance on the stage, and then we'll tell you when you got to do it again.
Yeah, that's got to change. I thought we had the opportunity to see that change with SX Global, but I'm sort of on the fence of how that's going to look now. It's got a different
tone to it now.
Yeah.
So just to go back to the Tomac Herlings thing, how's it go down? How's it play out?
Herlings.
Whoa!
Yeah, he would.
You're gonna do your boy like that. You're gonna do your boy like that.
But he would just leave it all on the table.
He'd die trying.
Yeah, die trying. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know Eli wouldn't. There would be a point where it'd be there's I've got a lot of hunting to do in the second part of my life.
Yeah. So all right, so take out that factor. Best guy, who wins?
Best guy, sorry.
So best version of Herlings, best version of Eli. Take out the risk that they would or wouldn't. Take out any of the real world shit.
Honestly, not sitting on the fence. They're both animals, and what we're seeing from Eli at times this year is as good as he's been. I mean, he was maybe arguably slightly better on that Honda for whatever reason that was, for a couple of rounds before he got injured in 2015,
I think,
was it?
That wasn't a great year bike either for Honda.
Yeah, he was just
so good.
Yeah, just an animal.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no. Yeah,
I really don't think that's a very, very hard question to go either way on, because of the way that the intensity and style of racing that they ride is very, very similar in that respect. The way that they go about their own. They're just all, when that gate drops, they're just absolutely all in everything they've got, and they leave it all out there.
Yeah. And I just think it's so cool they're both kind of towards the end of their career. Jeff's got a bit more time on his, but they've never even spoken to each other.
Yeah, but that's not unusual in that sense.
Oh, no, definitely. But I think what's so cool is, you get these two guys that are on these different sides of the world and they're on these different career paths, but they're the same guy.
Yeah.
Eli
That's
is the
I'm
Jeffrey.
saying.
Yeah. And then you just slowly bring these guys together. There's like this build up, and then these guys who have this amazing amount of respect for each other and this genuine curiosity of like, I just really want to race this dude one-on-one. And I don't know, just that would feel like a really cool thing to happen just for those two guys, even personally.
Yeah.
Just to, a meeting of like it's almost like you.
I just look at it for the sport. Like, it's something that would be just a whole different direction that we haven't seen before for the sport. I guess that's one of the big things that I was really looking forward to with SX Global, to be honest with you, to see if we can actually reach that mainstream viewer or fan with around the globe.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.